friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Charmaine. In this video, I am going to be sharing how I get my fine, low density hair to look as full as possible when it's in its curly state. So I wanted to come on here with my hair freshly washed, and I really want you to see what it looks like to get a feel for it. I know that hair can be deceiving in pictures and even in videos when you see it in its final state. I have a feeling if I was to come on here with my hair done to do the intro, you might be thinking, her hair is not fine, low density, I can't relate. But I think if you see it in this state, you might get a better feel for the fact that I don't have a lot of hair. It's just certain little tips and tricks that I do to make it look as full as possible. Tell that it's low density is you're gonna see a lot more scalp from me compared to someone with a lot more hair coverage all over their scalp. So density pretty much means, say you take out a square here, one person might have 1,500 hair follicles, I don't know. And then another person that is lower density might have in the same square 600. I don't know what the actual number count would be, but that's to explain it. So basically just not having as much hair. That's not even talking about the texture. That's just how much hair you actually have. My hair is even more sparse in the back area. Finally, if I was to put my hair into a ponytail or a bun, first off, you'll see a lot of scalp happening when my hair is wet. No hard task for me to put my hair into a little bun on my head and, you know, not even need to use anything to secure it. It's just quite small. And that's regardless of length. I could do the same thing if my hair was longer. It would still be like this because my hair is low density. And then the texture is also fine. Okay, so that's just to give you an idea of what we're working with here so that you can see that when you see my final results, and they hopefully look full and voluminous, you'll see that it's the product choice, the cut, and the styling that really helped to bring that volume alive. Okay, so I just touched my hair a fair bit. I am going to go back and wet it a little bit more because the styler that I'm using really works well on wet hair or damp hair. So even though it is wet, I'm going to wet it a little bit more just to be safe. Okay, so I just wet it. In this video, I'm focusing primarily on the styling. I'm not really going into the shampoo process, but just to give you a general idea, I use various brands when it comes to shampoo and conditioner. The main thing for me is that they're pretty lightweight and moisturizing. So anything that's going to leave like a little bit of a heavy residue afterwards, can't happen, because then my styling routine will just be thrown off. I need it to feel clean, lightweight. If you want a video on my favorite shampoos and conditioners, hair treatment, masks and stuff like that, I feel like that could be a whole other video. But for this video, I want to show you one of my absolute favorite combos to get the best wash and go results on my hair type. I have tried various products and I get great results from different brands, but you know, curly hair can be a little moody, a little temperamental. So sometimes, you know, it is a gamble with your results, even if you love a product. But I can honestly say the combo I'm going to show you, 9 out of 10 times it works out for me. If it doesn't, it's probably that maybe I was a little too heavy-handed with product distribution that day. But other than that, they always tend to work well for me together. And they're not the same brands. It's just a cocktail that I find works well together. So to begin, let me clear off this bottle because I used it on my son's hair last night and I see some of his little curls on there. Okay, this is by Lus Brands. And this is the all-in-one Repair Hydrate Style curly, I guess you'd call it like a cream or like a leave-in. It feels very much like a water-based leave-in to me, and they have different kinds. So this is the curly. They also have coily if you have tighter curls, and then I believe they also have wavy, but curly works the best on my hair type. It says on the bottle that the product is activated by water and must be applied to wet, clean hair. So that is why you saw me wet my hair again. The first tips I'm going to say is when you see a lot of curly hair routines, you often see people sectioning to apply. Now, if I was to section to apply product, guarantee I have too much product on my hair, and then my results are just flat, weighed down, and I don't get the volume. So for me, it's best to just have it naturally just fall. Do some pumps, like that. And then I'm just gonna rake it through my hair, like this. Both sides, raking it through. Go up like that, make sure it is covering all of my hair. I'll go like this, kind of light-handed with it, right? And then I might come forward a bit with it. And I'm really just working it all through my hair without focusing too much on like individual sections. If I do that, it doesn't work for me. I'm gonna add a little bit more. We'll do it again. And this time I'm going to be scrunching the bottom, mostly focusing on the bottom. So we're gonna flip again. Can you see? And we're gonna go like this, scrunch. And if you hear that little slight squishing sound, that means you have enough moisture with the water combined with the product, and that's good. Can you hear the birds? Okay, now, clearly I do have bangs. That's another major tip I would say. I know this is not going to be for everyone, but if you're ever curious how I achieve volume, that look of fuller hair, it's all because I have the shorter layers on the top. And that's going to be true for many curly girls, not just low density. If you want to have volume on the top, it's almost impossible if you don't have shorter layers up here, even if it's not bangs. But having shorter layers at the top is going to give you the volume at the top. So you can even have it shorter and maybe you wear it to the side, or maybe you wear it center part, whatever. But if you don't have those shorter layers, obviously, you know, your hair's falling a lot longer. You're just gonna have to keep going in with Afro-Pick all day to get any volume up here. But the reality is, shorter layers are gonna give you that volume. I shake. Sorry if I'm a little out of breath. I am pregnant. I don't even know if that's an excuse. Sometimes I think I just sound like this. But I felt like I needed a disclaimer. Okay, so now I'm just gonna shake it a little bit. See how see-through it looks? Again, if it's wet, we'll give it time. Okay, so I could leave it like this and let it dry, but I have found that adding the gel just takes it to the next level. Allows it to hold a bit better, so I can have a couple more days with it. My hair definitely doesn't get into those 4 and 5 curly hair days. If I'm lucky, I get a solid 2.5 days of good, you know, curl power, sometimes 3. But I don't get like 4, 5, 6, it doesn't happen for me. The gel that I absolutely love for fine, low density hair is by Ouidad. This one is not a drugstore brand. It is a little bit more coin, but I'll tell you, it lasts so long, especially if you don't have thick hair. This lasts me forever. So it is the Heat and Humidity Gel, and it is from their Advanced Climate Control collection. If you followed me for, you know, a while, I've probably talked about this for like 7 years online or 6 years online. I just love it. It's very lightweight in my opinion. And I will pretty much just coat my hair with it, like very lightly, focusing on the ends, kind of scrunching it up again, and the bangs at the ends, but I don't do too much in here with the gel. So again, we're gonna scrunch, scrunch, scrunch. And the reason I don't put it at my roots is because I don't want too much product at my roots that can weigh it down. I want to be able to lift my roots afterwards with an Afro pick with my fingers, and I find that the more product I have up there, it weighs it down a bit. That being said, if you want to avoid the frizz, you can just a little smooth. And if anytime you notice frizz in the styling process, like at this stage, go back, wet your hair or wet the section, restyle it. You just gotta add some water basically. This might be a personal preference, although I've heard many fine curly haired girls say the same thing. We're not diffusing. This part kind of sucks because who wants to have your hair like this, you know, drying like this for a while? But the truth is, if I diffuse my hair versus leaving it to air dry, night and day difference. I get way better results with it being air dried. The upside is when the weather's nice, it kind of dries a little bit faster, so that's good, and it's not as annoying because, you know, you're not like cold and stuff from the winter, but that's the truth for me. So what I'll do is I'll just shake it out a little bit and then just leave it. No touching in this process. I'm gonna come back when it is pretty much dry, show you what that looks like, and then take it from that stage to the volume stage. So the magic of editing, here we go. And I'm back, and I know what some of you may be thinking, but it still looks wet. It is actually dry. This is probably about, I think 3, maybe even 4 hours later. I kind of got busy with mom life, but I tried not to touch it and scrunch out the crunch is what I think the curly girls are saying. And at this stage, a lot of people will add like a lightweight oil to scrunch out the crunch from the gel. But for me, I tend to not really add anything else in this stage. I just kind of scrunch it out myself. And that is because the less products, the better with my hair type. As I mentioned, I don't get a lot of days out of my curls, so it's important for me to try to maximize the first day and still feel confident with my curls on the first day. So as you can see, I not only scrunch out my curls, but then I use my fingertips to really lift the roots. And then I'll also use an Afro pick to continue to lift the roots. And that way I get some nice fresh volume and curls on the first day. It gets even better the second day. And when I'm really lucky, maybe the third day. But to be honest, as much as I can wrap it up at night and do all the things with my hair type, it cannot really go beyond that because it really flattens out as I sleep. Even when I protect it, I can only get a certain amount of days. So if this was earlier in the day and I was to go outside with my hair like this, it would naturally get bigger throughout the day, and that volume is just amazing. I love it. And this is even on the first day after I do all this prep. But because I'm pretty much going to get it ready for, you know, protecting it for nighttime, I don't really have that footage. So I wanted to show you how I do preserve my curls overnight. Because it is a bit shorter right now, I just do 3 sections, and I do it with pretty much like a loose elastic, or I'll do a loose kind of scrunchie and then cover with a satin bonnet and sleep on a satin pillowcase as well. And then I will lift my roots using my fingertips as much as I can to kind of shake it out the back as well. And then I will go in with an Afro pick. I really rely on an Afro pick for volume, as you will probably see. And I continue to lift my roots all around my head until I get the volume that I love. And again, this is going to also expand as I move throughout the day and give me even more volume. That's pretty much my routine. I hope this was helpful for some of you. I know it can be hard to achieve volume with fine, low density curls, but hopefully some of my tips will help you, using lighter weight products, getting those shorter layers on top, not sectioning your hair when you are applying products. These are things that really help me, and hopefully they'll be helpful for you as well. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.